Hello and welcome back to Grandpa's Snippets. It's been about all summer since we've had any, and we closed with Grandma last time, and we're going to open with Grandma again. I'll tell you how that happened. Um, I got to thinking over the summer about things that I hadn't included in the last one about Grandma, and I thought there's so many of those things that I think I'm just going to do another one and open up this series with Grandma. She was born not too far from here where we lived, and she was born just a few blocks away. She was kind of in a hurry to get here, I guess, because she never made it to the hospital or nothing. She was born on the front room floor before the doctor could get there, and her aunt, I think, came over real quickly. And apparently she didn't bump her head or anything. She came out okay, but she must have been in a hurry to get here. She survived well. Going through life, she had to survive a lot of little things that went on and happened in her life. And one was her sister Marilyn dropped a car jack on her big toe, I think it was, and it just flopped. So during the 1930s, you just did the home medicine and or whatever, and I think they still do it today. Her dad just took the toe and tied it to the next and until it healed up. But the thing of it was that even here in the house, she'd get up to go to the bathroom at night, and she'd kind of got too close and hit that toe on the bed post, and it was and it would bother her again for days because she just was so kind of uncomfortable. So she survived that, and she told me then when she was a little kid that she thought there was a nice patch of area there to play in as they lived out in the country, and she played in it and had a great time, and come to find out she was playing in a poison ivy patch. And her mother said he said her mother had to soak her in the tub all the time because she was just covered from head to foot, and very discomfortable, very challenging. One time she said her and her parents, and she told me this story a couple times, her parents and the family were all loaded up to go to a family reunion, and they were driving along and a bee got in the car, and they all started swatting at the bee and swatting, and her dad lost control of the car, went off to the side and in the ditch, and beans everywhere. So I don't think they ever made it to the reunion. So that drew my attention to when Shirley and I were dating. Shirley had a curfew, which is not bad. Curfews were pretty good. And I just knew the time she was supposed to be home. We were coming up the Troy-Sydney Road. It was getting close to curfew time, and I wanted to see what time it was, and I leaned over by the dashboard where the light was from and my watch to see real quickly, and just that quick I was off to the left side in the ditch. And so I was more concerned about her and her dad, but we got home and explained it to him. A farmer helped pull us out, and he was fine. But then I thought about my mom. It was her car, and there was mud and stuff all over the car, and but it didn't do any damage. Thank the Lord for that. So we did fine, and that was just one of the things that happened to us. Actually, when we were dating, we used to go up to Russell's Point. Russell's Point was up at Indian Lake. It's not there anymore. I mean, as far as the amusement park that was there, they had an amusement park. And the amusement park, we would go up and we would ride the different things. I always liked to get on the Dodgem cars. She wasn't so sure she wanted to get bumped around and everything. Finally, I persuaded her. So she got on the Dodgem cars, and you could see her as she thought she was going to get hit. She just kind of grabbed the steering wheel really careful and there tightly, and just bang, and then she'd look around and she'd give you the biggest smile. I always liked and appreciated her smile. It was really great. While we were dating too, I don't remember her as a child ever doing much roller skating or ice skating or anything like that, but when we were dating, we went to the Hollow in the winter. In the Hollow, down by their house was the Hollow, which was a public swimming pool, and so they would swim there in the summer, but in the winter, off to the west side, there was a tree area, and they would flood that with about 6 inches of water, and then it would freeze, and we couldn't really skate. We would pick out a tree and just slide over to that tree and then slide over to that one. Most important that we enjoyed, we went for the big campfires. A lot of kids there from high school and sort of big campfires and drinking hot chocolate. So we enjoyed that. But then when our kids grew up, I think the twins might have been 6 and Randy and Cheryl 8, 9, 10 or whatever. We had a big ice storm all over town, and I knew the parking lot at the church would be just a sheet of ice, and so we went up to the church knowing we would kind of skate around, let the kids have fun, and they went out and they were sliding around on the ice, and Shirley and I decided we just, off our shoes, just going to slip out and go around on the ice and just have a little sliding time right outside the carport. We didn't go very far, and she went, boom! Her feet went straight up in the air, and she came down on her tailbone, and she broke her tailbone. And again, she suffered with that all of her life after that. So she had just a lot of struggles. When she was young, she had a dog that she really liked. She probably brought that story up to me 3 or 4 times. So I know I kind of just, she remembered it. And she got off the school bus when she was probably about 9 years old. And there, laying beside the road, was her favorite dog, or the one that she liked so much. And the thing of it was that wasn't long after that, her dad was diagnosed with cancer, and he got on a bus about the same spot as he went to Cleveland Clinic. He was gone a few weeks, and they didn't know whether he would get back, but he made it back, got off at the same spot, and I think she associated that spot with death and loss. But as you know, your grandpa, or Carl, he was 29 at the time, and it's like he lived to 72. So God blessed him and blessed the home and blessed the family. As you can see, Shirley loved butterflies. She put these butterflies together, and these are her butterflies and different things. And so I thought I'd get them out because she loved them so much. After she had passed away, I bought this cross because it had a butterfly. Today I saw a butterfly, and on the back is a very nice poem concerning butterflies. And I thought, well, I copied off just a few lines of it, and let me read it to you. I believe God sent my way the butterfly I saw today. As it fluttered through the sky, I tried my hardest not to cry. It made me feel a little blue because it made me think of you. But as it danced along the breeze, it put my mind and heart at ease. So innocent and so carefree, I felt God was showing me, you're safe at home with him above, cured in his arms of love. Beautiful butterflies, we know, come from caterpillars. They crawl around, and pretty soon they go into a cocoon, and then as the metamorphosis process takes place, they work their way out through the cocoon and develop their wings and fly through the sky. Sometimes I wonder if a caterpillar crawling on the earth and looking up there and seeing a butterfly says, you'll never get me up in one of those contraptions. But that's exactly where they end up. A gentleman saw a cocoon and a butterfly trying to get out, and it struggled and it struggled, and it just put every amount of energy into it it possibly could. So he decided, well, I'll help the butterfly. So he went and got a pair of scissors and cut that cocoon, brought it down a little bit, and so it wasn't too long the butterfly came out. But he noticed something, that the butterfly, its wings were weak, they weren't well formed, there was deformities about the butterfly. And he just finally came to that conclusion that it was the struggle that developed the wings and made them strong. It was the struggle that made the butterfly into what it was. It is sometimes the struggles of life that make us into what we are and who we are. And I know it was the struggles of life that helped to develop your grandma. And she loved you dearly, and the struggles matured her, caused her, I think, to come out with love and compassion as she could understand people's hurts. I think of Ecclesiastes 3:11, where it says, God makes everything beautiful in His time. He's doing that for you. He right now is making you beautiful. Sometimes it takes the struggles of life, but He's right there beside you to help you. Kind of like might be also clay on the potter's wheel, and He makes the vessel, and we've seen the spin, and He forms it, and He comes across the hard lump, and He gets rid of it. And so God is making us and making us into what He wants us to be. I think of the chorus which said, He's still working on me to make me what I ought to be. It took Him just a week to make the moon and stars, the sun, the earth, and Jupiter and Mars. Oh, how patient and loving He must be, because He's still working on me. And He's still working on you. Just be faithful to Him and stay in there. Let me close with this. Cheryl gave me this some time ago. It's kind of supposed to be a bird feeder, but I kind of keep it inside. I don't want it to get ruined. This is kind of the hollow of God's hands, and that's where He keeps you. And where you struggle sometimes, but you're safe. He's got you. He really has. And I thought of the struggles that Shirley had and different things. But so He will take care of you and watch over you. Well, thank you. I hope that getting back to Grandma was a blessing to you, and we will see you the next time. We're going to go where Shirley and I got married and raised our 4 kids, and there's going to be some memories there that will touch our 4 kids and you as they will be your parents. Thank you. See you next time.